Are you aware? Most of you may not be aware that this is the current state of Omuma Road in Aba, Abia State. We earlier reported Omuma Road as the worst road in Nigeria previously in our previous video. But today, gradually, hope and life is coming back to the city and to basically to Omuma Road. Omuma Road is in Aba, Abia State, Nigeria, within Aba South local government area. That is where Omuma Road is located. And it will interest you to know that this area was really abandoned for over 25 years by the previous administration before Governor Alex Oti stepped into as the governor of Abia State. And gradually, Omuma Road is beginning to have a new face. Now, this is the beginning of Omuma Road. Beginning of Omuma Road is where we call Slaughter. Slaughter is the beginning of Omuma Road. From this Slaughter, then you will now approach Omuma Road. You know, you can see this sand all over in this environment. That's an indication that the government really is currently working on reviving the Slaughter area, reviving Omuma Road in Abia State. In our previous video we did in our channel about 2 days ago, we posted about Old Express Road. Old Express Road is also adjacent to Omuma Road. So this road where we are right now is under Old Express and which is Slaughter. Why where we are going to right now is called Omuma Road. Where we're entering right now is Omuma Road. We were here this week of April 2025, just 2 days ago, to give you a report of the current state of Omuma Road. And when we came here, we saw Omuma Road like this. In fact, to me, I think the environment seems to be better and seems to be more better than it used to be. Because before now, the whole of this environment was really filled with different type of pawpaw grow in the road, different things. In fact, if I will show you the old video of Omuma Road so that you know where we started from. Because if you don't know the history of Omuma Road, you may not appreciate the current state of the road. We don't mean that this state of the road is good, but I mean that the road is under construction and the governor, Dr. Alex Oti, is currently working on reconstructing this road. In fact, contractors are still on. They are the one that did this drainage system you are seeing right now in this road. They are the one that did this drainage system you've seen this road. It's just that many people believe that they are not really as fast as they expected them to be, because at the entrance of Omuma Road, those areas have completely been done and dusted, and it was still done by the present administration. But the rate where they were actually doing the work, the rate where they were doing the work was too high. It was good and commendable. But at this particular present time, many people believe that they are not really as fast as they started the work with. But presently, this is the current state of Omuma Road in Abia State. There are houses left and right. When we inquired during last month, we came here for an update. Many people told us categorically that the history of Aba, a part of the history of Aba, started from Omuma Road. As at that time, about 50 years ago or thereabout, almost everybody have a house in Omuma Road. As at that time, about 50 to 60 years ago. As at that time, most of the head offices, most of the headquarters, most of the village meetings were really holding on Omuma Road. So anybody who knows about maybe 50 years ago, 60 years ago, must know where Omuma Road is located. And as at that time, this area was really like a major area in Aba at that time. But you can see that unfortunately, the previous government failed to really revive and reconstruct the road over years. And the area seems to be now an abandoned, a forsaken, a rejected area. That even the landlord that built house here about 50 years ago, 40 years ago, most of them abandoned their properties and their houses and then moved to other areas and became tenants in other areas. And house rent here is as cheap as nothing. So a one-bedroom flat here pays almost what somebody in one room in other areas pay. So that is what they do. Just try to let people stay so that their properties can just be active. That's all. So, but we are here just to give you an update on the current state of Omuma Road. And during our visit, we realized that contractors really, they were not on site at that time, but But what we realize basically that the flooding, whenever it rains, it affects the work greatly so much, because of managing of flooding really seems to be one of the major issue we realize in this area. The rain really affects the work so much. But notwithstanding, at the particular point of this road, you see that they are still working in some other part of the road. So just keep watching, drop a comment and let us know, what do you really think about Omuma Road in Aba State. Don't forget that this current state of Omuma Road is not the final stage of this road. The conductors are still working, and possibly in the next 6 months from now, believe that this Omuma Road will be 100% completed. So what we are doing now is just to give you an update of the current state of Omuma Road. We are not doing this video to say the government is not working, or we are not doing to commend the government at all. We are doing this video basically to give our audience an update on Omuma Road, on the current state of Omuma Road, because we were here last year when it was so terrible and very, very bad that for human being to even live. And we gave an update and told the world this is how Omuma Road is. So we were also here about 1 month ago when we did an update that contractors are still working, and commended them. So we came back again to give another update on the current state of Omuma Road. So why we are doing this video is just to inform our audience the current state of Omuma Road. So possibly if there's anything the state government feel or think they should do in additionally to ensure that life in this area comes back, to ensure that activities in this area comes back, to ensure that even people who are living here, ensure that everything works as it should be. So the government should also find it worthy to do that. This is the current state of Omuma Road, and when we are so going, we started from Old Express and we visited here. And from here, I think we saw it. I don't know if they were playing or if they are joking, but I just felt like in every situation we need to be happy. In every situation you need to find yourself. You need to really see how to be happy. So what came to my mind is imagine the condition of this area. How is life in this area? Some children were born in this environment and they grew up in this environment. So you imagine the way they would think or the way they would behave due to the environmental factor. So we saw these children playing in the water. I don't know if they were swimming or if they were walking, but to me, I think they were just playing and having fun. So what came to my mind, imagine if this road was okay. If this road was okay. Possibly they will have been playing football. They will have found a place and play football, or they will have have fun they will have used other things to have fun and to be happy than doing this. I just felt like it is well. So but we are doing this video just to create awareness and basically to inform our audience the current state of Omuma Road as at today. We believe that in the next 6 months from now, the state government must have completed the Omuma Road. This drainage system you are seeing right now was constructed recently by the present administration led by Governor Alex Choma Oti. Constructed this drainage system, and drainage systems are currently at the both side of the road. So what is there remaining is just to do their cement technology and all the rest of them. If we show you the old view of this Omuma Road, you may weep, you may cry, you may even ask, do we have government in Abia State before now? That is what you ask. Look at how people houses left and right. Even the woman that we interviewed last month when we came, she told us that during the recent flooding that happened, that even the rain enters their house and everywhere gets flooded. Their television, their bed, everything always got spoiled whenever it rains. Just that you may not have any option when you don't have money to move to a better place. That is the condition of most people who are living in this area. Life here seems to be brutal. Life here seems to be terrible. Life here seems to be very, very miserable. Life here seems not even to be worth living in this environment, because nothing here can make anybody happy. But the happiness and joy is that the government is not sleeping over it. Although the contractors may be too fast as people may expect them to be. But one thing is that they are constructing the road and they are doing their best to construct it based on the good standard. So, and we are sure definitely if all things being equal, even in the next 10 years or 20 years, this road may not have a pothole when 100% completed. Because I asked them during my recent visit Do they have any plan to manage flooding? What plan do they have to manage flooding? Because when it rains, and if you see the kind of thing that happens here when it rains, you may marvel. You may be forced to ask the same question. But I asked them the same question, and it told me that they have a plan to manage flooding. In fact, there are ways they are planning to divert the flooding once they complete the construction of this road. But don't forget that where we showed you right now is basically the bad area in Omuma Road. Is basically the areas that the contractors are yet to be seen. When I mean to be seen, is basically the area that the presence of the contractors are yet to be felt, because those are the areas that are flooding affected. Don't forget that flooding affected almost all these areas before, but because of the work the contractors are doing up there, it was not channeled to this area. I don't know if you really understand what I'm saying. Drop a comment and ask questions. If you don't understand, drop a comment and ask questions. My name is Nwakama Casimir. Drop a comment and ask questions. Don't forget to follow Casa TV on Facebook and YouTube. Now, these areas you are seeing right now are the areas that contractors really are now working on. You are now seeing these areas seem to be more better. Now, if I show you further inside, you will now see the cement technology, what the government are doing currently right now. I ask the question, do you have plan of managing flooding? Say yes, they have plan of managing flooding. Houses here and all the rest of them, buildings, 2-story building, left and right in these areas. This area used to be one of the most populated area in Abia State some years ago, before bad road and bad governments seriously affected here. Even issue of electricity is one of the major areas for people who live in this place. But notwithstanding, you can see that the presence of the contractors are really felt in this area. Just keep watching, drop a comment, and don't forget to follow us and drop a comment. Let us know what you think about this video. Don't forget that this area, as I said earlier, right now is where the contractors are. So they are leveling the load to be very, very high. And that is why whenever it rains, it seems as if it pushed the whole water to this area. That is why those beginning areas seems to be very, very bad and flooded. So possibly when the road is 100% completed, I believe they have a plan of channeling those flooding to another area, and they're properly managing it properly. Now this is where the contractors are, and you can see what they are doing in this area. Before now, in fact, last year when we came here, the people at the time doubted that present government would be able to even visit here. But people, even with this level of work as is in Omuma Road, even if the government decide to abandon here at this stage, many people will be grateful to the current government for abandoning it like this, because for the past 25 years, no government have attempted to construct the new system at both sides, not even talking about completing. That is why when you see on social media that people are celebrating the government, like what happened in Port Harcourt Road, where different blog and site posted that people in Aba are celebrating Port Harcourt Road, just a road with a solar street light, that's all. And you may ask yourself, what is special about road? Because people in some other cities or states may not say anything to celebrate when government construct road, because most of them are not already used to bad road in their environment, but in this situation is different, because most of those roads were abandoned for about 20 years, 25 years. Life was really miserable. Why it was even very difficult? It was as if they were living in hell. If there was any place like hell in Nigeria, it was as if they were living in that part. And then suddenly a government comes within 2 years, coming to reconstruct the road, bringing solar street lights, making life a little bit fun and easy for them. You will not be shocked, or you will not be surprised whenever you see them celebrating, jubilating, praising the government for doing what the government should have done. But why they are celebrating the government? Because for the past 20 years, 25 years, even more, they have not seen any government that, despite the government promises, despite even allocation given the government to do it in the past, they have not seen any government that were able to do or even do what they are supposed to do with public fund, not with personal fund, not even with the private personal fund or personal investment, rather with public fund, with state allocation, not with the personal fund, but with the state allocation. Previous governments have failed to utilize the government, the Abia State government allocation properly in terms of reconstruction of road, provision of basic social amenities, and some more, and even paying of salaries, which people shouldn't even celebrate at all. But as at this present time, the government is also paying salaries, and as at today, no agency, organization, group, or even institution have protested for non-payment of salary for the past 2 years. No agency, no parastatal have protested and say, not even Abia State Polytechnic that used to protest at every month over non-payment of salary. But today, non-payment of salary in Abia is now a different story. What we are doing right now is giving an update on what is happening in the city. We are not praising the government, neither are we commending them. Rather, we are just giving our audience an update on what is happening in the city. This is the Omuma Road in Aba, and these areas have been properly reconstructed, although it's not 100% completed yet, but these areas have been constructed. And just keep watching. Drop a comment, let us know what do you think about this video. Don't forget to follow Casa TV on Facebook and YouTube. Keep watching and make sure you watch to the end. My name is Mwaka Makasmia. Thank you.